Hi everyone, take all your art materials. Today we are going to paint this beautiful nightscape painting with a glowing golden moon. So now let's get started. Now let me tell the materials we need for this painting, and in step 1 we are going to paint the background. So we have to mix the colors cerulean blue, deep cyan and a pinch of black to get a dark shade of blue. I am using my flat brush number 12 to apply the color on the top of the canvas like this. Now I am going to gradually mix the color cerulean blue to make this darker blue little lighter, and you can see this is a nightscape painting, so we are going to make the color little lighter when we are moving towards the horizon. So you can see I am adding more cerulean blue this time, and I am going to add some white to this color. And now let's take a pinch of white and we can mix the white with the cerulean blue to make a light shade of blue, and I'm going to apply the color in this part. So this is the horizon of the sky, and gradually I'm blending all the colors to get a seamless blending and transition in our painting. And I'm going to paint the water now, so the water will reflect all the colors in the sky. So I'm going to repeat the colors again. Let's mix the color blue and white to get a light shade of blue, and we are going to repeat the colors again. So here we have the color cerulean blue, and I'm going to mix the cerulean blue with a lighter color. So you can see this is a beautiful nightscape painting with a beautiful reflection of the sky in the water. And in the bottom of the canvas we need to make the color little darker. So again we are going to repeat the colors cerulean blue, deep cyan and a pinch of black. Let's take this dark shade of blue and I'm going to apply this color in the bottom of our canvas like this. So you can see our beautiful background is now ready, and I'm going to let it dry before I'm going to do the work in the step 2. Step 2 is my favorite because I'm going to paint my favorite golden glowing moon, and here I have a circle and I'm going to apply this color inside the circle. So here I have mixed the color medium yellow with the white, and I'm going to apply the color entirely on this base. Here I am using my round brush to fill the colors because the sharp edges of the round brush is really helpful to fill the colors in every nook and corner. And I'm going to let it dry. Then I'm going to take the color burnt umber and I'm going to mix the burnt umber with a medium yellow mixed with a pinch of white. So we will get a light shade of golden color like this, and I'm using this golden color to create the texture on the moon surface. Creating the texture of the moon is really easy. You have to take your round brush and you're going to just apply the colors like this. If you want to have a very smooth and beautiful blending on the surface of the moon, then again you can take the color medium yellow mixed with the white and you can apply the color here. And here I'm using the color white in the edges to make the moon glowing like this. To make this moon painting more interesting, I am going to take my round brush and I am going to paint some ray around this ring like this. So here I am using my round brush to draw the tiny lines. Now we are in the step 3 and it's time to paint the trees in the distance. So here we have the round hot bristle brush and we need a dark shade of blue. Now let's mix the color cerulean with a pinch of black to get a dark shade of blue. Here I am using this hot bristle round brush. This brush is a game changer for me. I am using this for a few weeks. It is really easy for me to create the texture, especially the rough texture of the leaf foliage when we are painting the tree painting, and it is really helpful for me. If you want to know about this brush, you can check the description. I have given the details of the brush in my description. Now let's paint the tree trunk. To paint the tree trunk, here I am using my liner brush. We are using the same shade of dark blue to paint the trees in the distance. Then we are going to paint the trees in the foreground. That time we can use the color black. I always like to paint moon painting, especially golden moon. I really like the color and the texture on the moon. If you are someone who is really interested in painting moon, then you will really like this painting. In this painting you will learn how to paint this beautiful moon in this amazing nightscape painting, and if you are interested then you have to check this painting. Now it's time to paint the leaf foliage. So here I am using the same hot bristle round brush to add the leaf foliage again, and it is really easy to paint them using this brush. I really like to paint the trees in the distance, so they give a sense of depth in our painting, so I really enjoy making them. And now we are going to paint the trees on the another side. So we are going to repeat the same process again here. Using the same color, we are going to add some bushes in the foreground. Now it looks really beautiful. And I'm going to let it dry. Then we can add the trees in the foreground, and then we can add the bridge in this painting. Take your small flat brush. We are going to add the line here. So this is the trees in the foreground base. So first we are going to apply the color black for the base, then we can add the trees here. So here I am using my small size flat brush, and then I am going to take my round brush to paint the tree trunk here. To paint the tiny and skinny lines, you can use your detailing brush, or if you don't have a detailing brush, then you can use the tip of your round brush. It is really easy to paint them. And here I am adding some small branches in this painting. I really like to paint branches because adding the branches in tree painting makes me feel really wonderful, because I really like to paint trees, moon and many natural things. If you are also very interested in creating the beautiful things in our nature, then please let me know in the comment section, and I would be really happy to read all your comments. Now it's time to add the leaf foliage in the foreground trees. So here I am using the color black, and I am using the same brush, and we are adding the brush strokes to overlap the trees in the distance. If you are new here, consider this is your official welcome. I am Rex and I am an acrylic painting artist. Here I am sharing my painting knowledge and techniques with beginner artists. If you really enjoy watching my videos, then make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on my other social media platforms to know all the regular updates about my paintings. We are in the step 4 to paint the bridge. Before we are going to paint the bridge, we are going to paint some bushes here. So here we have taken the color olive green. So I have mixed some medium yellow with this olive green, and I am using the round brush, hot bristle brush here to create the texture of the bush, and we are going to let it dry. Then we can add some yellow over here to create the light value in this bush painting. Then we are going to just let it dry. Then take your liner brush or a detailing brush. We are going to paint the bridge now. And here I am going to paint a curve. You can use your pencil to draw a curve here, and then you can use your brush if you don't feel very comfortable with your brush. And here I am using the color black to paint the bridge, and here I am using my liner brush to add the details of the bridge and also the shape of the bridge. We should be really careful while adding the small details in our painting. You can use your detailing brush. If you have a very small size of detailing brush, then you can use that, because you can use the tip of the detailing brush to create a very tiny and minute line like this. And then we are going to add more details in the bridge. Again, take the color olive green. We are going to add more brushes around this bridge. If you are someone who is interested in painting moon, fantasy landscape and nightscape painting, then this playlist is definitely for you. In this playlist, you can see different types of landscape painting with a step-by-step explanation. So if you are someone who is really interested in painting fantasy landscape, then don't miss this playlist. And then you can take your liner brush or a detailing brush, and we are going to add some grass in this place. Now we are in the last step in this painting, and we are going to paint the reflection on the water surface. So we are going to start with the trees in the distance. So we are going to mix the colors cerulean blue with the black to get a dark shade of blue, and we are using a small flat brush, and I am going to use the downward brush stroke to paint the reflection of the trees in the distance here. Now we are going to add the reflection of the moon here. So before that we have to measure the distance. So now I'm going to add the strokes here. So here I'm using the same small flat brush. When you are using a small flat brush like this, you can add the beautiful lines in your painting. Here I have mixed the color medium yellow mixed with lots of white, and I'm adding more lines in this painting. To paint the reflection of the bridge, first we need to paint the shape of the bridge. So here I am using the same liner brush and I am going to paint the shape first, then I am going to fill the color, then we can add the reflection here. I'm going to use only the tip of my liner brush to add the lines like this. So we need to add lines like this and we have to keep some distance between the lines, so then it will look very realistic. Once the reflection of the bridge is ready, we are going to paint the reflection of the trees. So here I am using the same small flat brush and I am using the same downward brush strokes. So it is really easy to add the reflection like this. To paint the reflection of the trees, you can use this downward brush stroke. So all you need to do is take a small flat brush and you are going to load your brush with enough paint and you are going to drag the brush stroke towards the down. Then you will have this beautiful downward brush strokes, and it is really helpful for you to paint the reflection of the trees or the things in the water. Now we are painting the reflection of the bush here. So here I am using the same downward brush strokes and I am going to just let it dry. Then we can add more details here. So you can see I am using the color white to add the reflection of the moon, especially using a very highlight color. And I am going to mix the color cerulean blue with white to get a light shade of blue. And here I am painting the waves, especially the highlights in the waves. So you can see I am using a small flat brush. So this is, I think, number 2 flat brush. It is really very small. Also the edges are really sharp enough to create these tiny lines. I always like to use this type of small flat brush while I'm adding the reflection of the water or the waves in the water. In the final touch of this painting, I decided to add a couple in this bridge painting. While painting this, I had a huge confusion whether to add them or not, because so far this painting looked really amazing. I really like the moon, bridge and the trees, everything in this painting. So I had a doubt if I add them in this painting how it would look, but I have to give a try, right? So I just did it. So while painting anything, you may feel like you want to add something. You have the sudden urge to paint something in your painting. Sometimes it may go wrong and sometimes it may go right, but you have to follow your instinct. If it go wrong, then okay, it's a lesson. If it is go right, then it is a blessing. So you have to follow your instinct to know your potential. I don't know how it will look until I finish this painting. So you have to trust your instinct. While painting this, I experienced this knowledge, so I just want to share with you. And let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section. Now let's see the final look of this painting. I really like this painting, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will meet you guys with another beautiful painting with a step-by-step explanation in my next video. Until then, have fun with colors.